Okay. All good?
Yeah, man.
Sweet. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outlawed Picks podcast. As you can see today, I am not joined by Ollie Richardson. I'm joined by a young Jamie Raptor, Jamie Allsop, who's normally sitting in that seat just there where his jacket is sitting, all very lonely.
Yeah, it does feel
And
weird.
you've already said it feels weird.
Yeah, sitting on this side. But, replaced Ollie this week. Well, it might be Ollie just...
Might be permanently, we don't know. I mean, we'll see how you do. No pressure, though.
You're
doing
hair.
the sponsor read, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, today...
No pressure.
Today, this episode is brought to you by C4 Energy. They've been sponsoring us for a while now.
Good while.
And they've been sponsoring some other shows on the channel as well, with the Vians and Rough House episode as well. So, thank you for them for their support. Are they the new shot
Mate,
rocks?
these came the day. I tried one earlier today, and then I've been doing kettlebells for about 6 hours. Mist tried one earlier, so I thought we'll just stick them there.
And what are they like? Does caffeine?
Yeah, they're pop rocks, although they're shot rocks, C4 shot rocks, but they're popping energy candy.
Oh, let me try one.
Yeah, you know you want to. There you go. If you have a whole one, you'll be bouncing off the walls. Powder.
Kind of powdery, isn't it? It's a very vibrant colour as well.
It is. Go on. Is it popping? It's stuck in your beard.
Is it?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's popping.
I'm not
pretty good,
kind of
actually.
stuff for ages. That tastes good.
They're really popping as well.
Watermelon flavour. Yeah. So I'm going to take them into the gym later today. Oh, I still have my arm.
Yeah, the boys will be on them for sure.
Good stuff. So we got no review this week. Oh, we also need to mention Full Reptile. Have you finished your read? No?
Well, if you go to c4energy.com and use the code FULLREPTILE, as always, you get a massive 30% off your order. Unfortunately, it's only for the US viewers at this moment in time, but in the new year, as Ollie said, something's coming. So we'll get on that soon for sure for you.
As soon as we have more details we can share with you, we'll let you know.
But yeah, there's a link below in the description. Go to c4energy.com and get massive 30% off.
And Full Reptile. So the first 10 days of December, we've got 10% off across everything on the site. You don't need a code. It'll be automatic at checkout. And Jamie is styling one of the new sweatshirts. Yes. I have got the new snake print on. We've got new stuff on the site and it's still 10% off. So that lasts until midnight on December 10th, or 10 p.m. on December 10th. So get on that. Yeah?
Yeah. Wicked,
Shall we get on it?
Wicked, man, yeah. There's quite a lot of fights to go through on this one.
Fucking loads. I was looking at it earlier this morning because obviously we did the War Room last night and I've not looked at the rest of the card until today. But I tell you what I will say. Everybody on the card all the way down is like the first fighters on the card are both like UFC veterans. They've been in for a while.
Yeah.
Especially Smolka.
Yeah, Lewis Smolka and Vince Moraes.
Oh, shit. The screen's being weird again. I'm telling you, man. It's the connection. Let's try
It's a little flustered, don't it?
It does a bit. Okay. Go on then. Which one are you starting with? What do you want to tell me about?
So, I watched Lewis Smolka's last fight. And I don't really think... There's nothing like flashy about his style, I don't think. He's quite like high guard, stand boxing. But I don't think he's got anything really that Moraes... Well, not anything to offer for Moraes.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of... He's a little bit reckless at times as well. Yeah, and I just think because Moraes is quite bouncy, he's very in and out, he like feints a lot, and I think he can catch him. He can catch Smolka like coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Smolka's been... So he was in the UFC for a good while. So let me think. He joined at UFC Fight Night 35 back in 2014, and he was undefeated at the time. So he came in he was 6-0, and he had a good run. I mean, he lost one split decision to Chris Carriasso, but he ended up headlining in Dublin. And I'll always remember this one because I did a breakdown on what the main event was. It was Poirier against Duffy. That was the original main event. And then that fell through and Paddy Houlihan and Smolka ended up being main event.
Right, okay.
And unfortunately for Paddy, it didn't work out for him that night in Dublin. I think obviously he wanted the big McGregor finish like happened in the show before, but he got took down and caught with a rear naked choke. And I think see, like both of these guys have got decent striking. I agree with you. Vince is faster, he's sharper, he gets his head off the center line as he's coming in. But if he leaps in and he gets caught and tangled up, I do think Smolka might be able to ground him. Like that last fight against Quinones, so he went head and arm throw to mount to ground and pound. Like that's where Smolka wins it for me. Like if he's able to, if Morales is able to keep it standing, and like which fight was it? Morales. Hang on, I've got it in my notes.
Well, I mean, Smolka was kind of losing that fight against Quinones, weren't he, before it went to the ground. Like you said, I think
you're on the Morales freight train, aren't you? I can tell you are.
I am, yeah. I am.
See, I like Smolka's got heavy hands. He's got a good left hook. We saw that against to the body against Quinones, but like I feel like Morales is quicker. I feel like against Rodriguez, he had him backed up against the fence and he was peppering him with shots constantly. And even when he had him on the floor, he let him back up to the feet. Like that's the smart game plan against Smolka, because I think as long as Morales can keep it in the boxing range, he's gonna have the advantages, speed and power.
He's quite like that Riddell, like quite hunched over, like got a lot of power, like throws hard, throws to hurt as well.
He does, and always shifts his head off the centre line, which I don't see with Smolka. He kind of leaves himself to get hit sometimes. But like Smolka's one of those guys that you can beat him up for a round and a half, and then he works his way back into the fight because he's tough. I think it's a close fight. I give Morales the advantage on the feet, but I think Smolka can also take him on the ground as well.
Yeah.
Which way are you going?
I'm going to go Morales in this.
I'll disagree with you as well. Then I'll go Smolka. I think he's going to take him down and sub him. I like Morales, and I think he's a very effective striker. But I think this is where like Smolka's second opportunity in the UFC. He's put like some tough days behind him, alcoholism and all those kind of things. He's regrouped, and I just think when he's on his game, he is a dangerous individual. Yeah,
the experience I think maybe might come through, but I just like the style of Morales. He's very hard hitting. I think that might be a problem for Smolka.
Yeah. Right, moving on then. So have you got Tapology up, or are you working off notes?
I have got Tapology, yeah.
So have you got Morono against Mickey Gall next?
Yeah, I have.
See, that's the same thing again. Like both of these guys. I know Mickey Gall's not had a lot of fights in MMA, but I feel like he's been in the UFC a long while. And Morono's he's one of those fights that's just like he's a bit like a Sean Strickland. You know what I mean? Like it's always going to be a difficult fight no matter what, but you're not going to gain a great deal from beating him because people aren't really, you know what I mean? He's like one of those kind of dark horses in the division, but he's a fucking nightmare. Like what he did to Cowboy. Yeah. Like what, like walking him down and peppering him, and he knew he could pressure Cowboy and get inside his head if he kept pressuring him. Good hands, good low kicks.
He was good against in his last fight against Zavada as well.
Yeah.
Like, but the only thing is with Morono, I found is because he's got quite high guard. I think he'll be susceptible to like body kicks.
The body shots.
Yeah. And Mickey Gall's got good long kicks as well.
Yeah.
If he can keep the distance and just keep peppering the body and maybe low kicks as well. Was
it Jordan Wright he caught? Like he caught him crashing in, caught him on the back of the head and hit him with a massive right hook and dropped him. I think it was. Like the downside for Mickey Gall is that his main strength is rear naked chokes, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got 6 rear naked chokes on his record, 5 first round. I just don't think he's gonna be able to sub Morono in the first round. I might be saying that and look really silly because he might, but I don't know. I think he's got his wits about him. He's a good grappler anyway. He's got a good guillotine himself, and I could see him threatening Mickey Gall with that if Gall was trying to take him down.
Yeah, Mickey. It was a tough one to decide on this. I have gone with Mickey Gall.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm disagreeing with you again. I'm going with Morono. I think he's gonna be able to keep it standing. Yeah. I think he's gonna be able to beat Mickey Gall up. Like just kind of make it uncomfortable for him. Be smart enough to not get wrapped up in the first round. But having said that, I can also see Mickey Gall climbing up him and rear naked choking him. But we'll see.
Yeah, because I was looking at Morono's takedown defense as well.
And check you out with your proper research.
I know, yeah.
I was just thinking. Already. I know, right? I was just thinking. I've not got the facts and stats pulled up. I didn't do the records for the last ones. Well, you probably put it up on the screen, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll put it up. Yeah, but his takedown defense is 52%.
Who's Morono's?
Yeah,
but is that because he attacks guillotines a lot? Because there are sometimes he'll wrap a neck and he'll drop to a guillotine.
Forces. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think sometimes if they go for a guillotine, they don't get it, and then they end up on their back, it gets counted as a takedown, even though they didn't necessarily fight the takedown. If that makes sense. I don't know. He has got, so what's he got guillotines on his record? He's got the Josh Burtman one, which was a little while ago, admittedly, and then Derek Krantz before he joined the UFC. A couple of guillotines on his record. 6 knockouts, 6...
yeah, he is on a good run as well. He's got a win over Max Griffin as well, which is a good one.
That gets better every day, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
Max Griffin's doing well. And Song Kanan. That was another... I remember, I think I called that one, didn't I? Beijing? Quite possibly. Yeah, I'm going Morono anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go Mickey Gall, because that's what I've picked anyway.
All you fucking hipsters like Mickey Gall. That's what it is. Okay, heavyweights next. You were talking about...
Azamat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mazakhanov?
Mazakhanov? Yeah. I think so. Azamat Mazakhanov.
There you go.
Yeah.
Against Jared Vanderaa.
Yeah.
So, and you were talking about... So, didn't he fight at light heavyweight?
Yeah, in his contender series, and that was against...
I watched that earlier today.
Yeah, he fought at light heavyweight in his contender series. Yeah, Shafel,
There you go.
And it was
That was a beautiful right hook. Southpaw into it, and he kind of walked him down against the fence and then stepped across and cracked him with that right.
Yeah.
And, I felt bad for him as well, because before the fight, it showed Shafel's family all watching it in...
Oh, right.
I think they were in Brazil, all sitting around the TV watching it.
Zoom.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, oh shit, they've just watched him get fucking clubbed unconscious. No, I enjoyed watching that fight. But so that was a light heavyweight.
That was at light heavyweight.
And now he's fighting at heavyweight against Vanderaa, who cuts to heavyweight.
Yeah, no, he's man, he's right in the limit, ain't he? He weighs in at 265.
He's huge. But then he did struggle in his last fight, didn't he, against Romanov?
Yeah. It seems like a bit of a... I don't know, I just seen like a bit of a pub roller. Jared Vanderaa.
He's a bit reckless and a bit kind of... He's a heavy-handed heavyweight, you know what I mean? He's not had to be really clean with his striking because it's work, because he hits hard.
But Azamat's like constantly bouncing in and out. He's really fast for like a big guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Vanderaa is going to be able to deal with that pace.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, like the thing, he's like... I think Azamat's going to have to defend some takedowns, because I think Vanderaa is going to try and close him down, especially because he's going to look at him and go, this dude's a light heavyweight. And he's got decent wrestling. Like that, he won his contender series against Hunsucker. He took him down against the fence, didn't he? And ground and pounded him. But the issue with Vanderaa is that he fights like a heavyweight. So he either lands heavy or he misses and gets clubbed with big shots. And if he lands on the top position when he's taking somebody down, he can hold him there. He's decent wrestling, but... Yeah, I mean, I think Azamat's going to be too fast for him. I think he's going to pepper him and catch him and hurt him and knock him out. Yeah, for sure. Are we agreeing on that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do like, but I like the look of him anyway, and just based off his contender series. And I watched a couple of the fights, and I can't remember the promotion, but yeah, it does the same thing. Like too fast for him.
Brave. He fought in Brave, and he fought in ACB as well. Yeah, because he's got a couple of good wins on his record. He's beaten Andre Muniz in the first round. And I think he's on like a 5 or 6 fight win streak since joining the UFC, Muniz is. And then he also has got a decision win before his contender series against Guto Innocence, who's former UFC fighter, good kickboxer. Yeah, it's not like he's been fighting, easy fights.
Yeah, because those Brave fights, and I think he previously fought at heavyweight anyway.
Right.
So I think that Sheffield fight, he must have gone down to fight at light heavyweight. So he's used to fighting bigger guys anyway, I think.
Well, in these Brave fights, it says he was fighting at open weight, so I guess that's just kind of whatever you feel like. Maybe they don't have a cap on it, maybe a limit. But then his fight before that in ACB was light heavyweight, so he's kind of bounced around. Muniz was light heavyweight as well. He might be one of those 2 weight guys. He might just kind of drift back and forth.
Yeah,
we might have another Hamzat in.
He'll have the advantage for speed though, surely over those guys. Yeah,
he's just got to not get caught with something big, because if it does, it'll clean his clock. So you're going with... I'm
going to go with
Azamat.
Azamat.
Okay, next one. Claudio Playas against Gritsmacker.
See, I watched a lot of Playas. I watched a lot of him and I really liked him because he got a win over Jordan Levitt as well.
Yeah, that was a good win. Yeah. That was a good win. He showed good wrestling in there, good ground and pound. See, like if he's able to get the fight to the ground and hold top position, like he kind of stands over in guard and ground and pounds really well. But if you remember his fight before against Felipe Silva, like he kept attacking his legs, and he just looked like he fucking exhausted himself. And then his eye came up. His eye came up real bad. Like that fight was going terribly until he caught that knee bar. Like that's where Gritsmacker finds his way in, I think, because he's the kind of guy that you can crack in the first round and almost have out of there, like Witt did. Was it Witt? No, Garcia. And then he came back and he's able to push a pace on these guys. He's a bit of a Brian Barberena who's also on this card.
Yeah, I saw it like just like kind of constant pressure, constantly walking down. And when he's in close, he's like throwing elbows and stuff. So I could see him being a real big problem for Playas.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I'm thinking. Well, Playas' last couple of fights against it was Marcos Moriarty, I can't remember his fucking last name, and Levitt. Like they were two performances where he didn't seem to struggle with his gas too much, and his striking looks good as well as his wrestling. Like if he's able to put it together and not gas in the process, then I think he's got the skills to beat him. I think he's a technically better fighter than Gritsmacker.
Yeah.
But it's that toughness. It's that Brian Barberena style where they just kind of maul you until you start to break. Good takedown offense against Joe Lozon, and you remember what he did to him inside.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
He retired, didn't he?
Yeah,
in the second round.
Yeah.
That
was a good call because you saw his corner man lean in, and he was like,
like whispering to him. Yeah.
Let's fucking call it. Your head's twice the size. It's starting to look like Stewie Griffin.
I know he had 2 raccoon eyeballs.
It was
as well.
fucking bad. Wasn't
it was.
Yeah, it's rough to see Lozon like that, but Gritsmacker looked really strong, really strong. So, are you going with?
I'm gonna go for Gritsmacker.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I do like the look of Playas, but
he might just be a bit young at the moment.
You know? That's what I think. The experience of Gritsmacker as well. Yeah. Like he's had a bit of a higher level of opponent, and I think
he's a decent bit older as well, isn't he, Gritsmacker? Yeah, 35 against 25. That is a 10-year difference, and he's just got that kind of fucking man strength and man toughness. Although Playas might have it after the beating he got from Felipe Silva, because he has looked better in his last couple of fights. He has. Like Levitt's a good win, I think.
Yeah,
and that
really
knee bar
good
against Silva as well. I mean, he's in there in the third round, even if he's taken a beating.
Yeah, I just thought. Yeah,
I'll go the opposite way. I'll go Playas.
Okay,
I'll go Playas. He's on a 3-fight win streak. I reckon he's on a 4-fight win streak. I reckon he might. No, he ain't going to sub Gritsmacker.
Yeah, I know. I had that in the back of my mind as well, but no, I don't think so. I think.
As long as his conditioning holds together, I feel like he can do it. But that's the question, because Gritsmacker's going to test it. Okay, so
this is
Alonzo Menifield against William Knight. Now, so I was watching a couple of these fights today, right? And then you've got Menifield, who's looked really good until he got caught with that counter against OSP.
Yeah.
And then you watch William Knight's last fight against Sharan, and he landed that counter left hook again. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's either going to be Menifield's going to club him and knock him down, or close him down and take him down, or we're going to see William Knight catch him with that hook. But if it ends up on the floor, I think Menifield's all over him.
Yeah. The thing is, I noticed about William Knight as well, he goes back with his head.
Chin right.
Yeah,
right?
And when he caught Sharan, it was kind of just like as he was moving backwards, he caught him with the left hook. So I think, and the way Menifield like moves forward with power, and he's got a long reach, I think he might catch him.
Who was it? It was his second fight on the Contender Series, wasn't it? Deshaun Boatwright. He waited him. It was like 8 seconds in. Menifield.
Oh right,
and Boatwright threw a kick, and Menifield came over the top and smashed him with that.
Yeah.
I could quite easily see him landing that shot. But I can see him throwing that shot. I can see him landing it, but I can also see him missing it and it whistling by the side of his head. You know what I mean? And it's that's the risk here for Menifield. He's got to be smart the way he works his way in.
Yeah, but I do think, like you said, if it goes to the ground, I think Menifield's got a massive advantage as well. Yeah, just power won't be allow him to get up and stuff.
Yeah, and that Von Flue choke that he had against Sharan. I mean, I don't think he's going to catch William Knight with that, because Knight has fought Sharan, so he would have seen that fight. So at least he'll be aware of the Von Flue choke. But I don't like William Knight has got like that really hard style of Muay Thai where he powers shots into the legs, and I think that might leave him a bit vulnerable. I'm taking Alonzo Menifield, as you probably.
You go Menifield. Yeah. I'm going to go for Menifield as well. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, Mallory Martin against Cheyenne Cheyenne Vlismus.
Yeah, it's changed. It used to be Buys.
Yeah, she got divorced.
I'm not sure, maybe.
Well, that's what it says on her Wikipedia page. She was married to JP Bays, so I don't know what's happened there, but she has returned to her maiden name. Vlismus. Ready for Christmas. Couldn't help it. So she had a good win in her last fight.
Yeah.
It was barely legal, that head kick. I mean, her fingers were just about off the floor, weren't they?
It was, I think, like, Felder said in commentary, it's like, just came up.
Just at the right time, yeah.
It was very close.
Very close. But then a fight before that against Montserrat, she kept getting caught in that head and arm position, and she just couldn't get away from it.
No.
And I could see Mallory Martin, because she doesn't mind striking Martin, but then it was in her fight against Hannah Cyphers, although she won it, she got hurt in that first round. Like, she could quite easily be on a 3-fight losing streak right now. And although her 2 losses come from submissions, I mean, Jandiroba and Poliana Viana, they're good grapplers. I still think she wins this fight on the floor if she takes it there.
Yeah.
I still think she's got a big advantage over Vlismus on the floor. But if it stays on the feet, I think Vlismus might catch her with something. She's got decent Muay Thai. She's got a nice tight guard, but I don't know.
I think if they stand, I think Cheyenne's got the advantage. But like in the Cyphers fight, she got knocked down and then took it to the floor, and she managed to get the rear naked choke. So,
she was hurt badly.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. She was really hurt in that first round. But I think Cheyenne's probably going to get the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I look further down Cheyenne's record, she's got quite a lot of arm bars as well. So I think maybe if it does go to the ground, she could catch her with something like that.
Yeah.
But I think standing, I think Cheyenne's got it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Mallory Martin's got a lot of potential. Like, she moves well on the feet. Like in the opening couple of minutes against Hannah Cyphers, before she got clipped, like, she looked like the one that was more comfortable in the stand-up range, the way she was moving. And but then once she got clipped, she was just all over the place.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like although she might look more confident at the striking range than Cheyenne, I think she's going to probably get hit a lot more. Then she's going to level change, and as you said, I keep wanting to call her Bays. She's got a good ground game as well.
Yeah, she's training at Extreme as well with like Dennis Silver, stuff like that. So I think she's got a good corner and a good environment to work in as well. So
just moved to Vegas as well, hasn't
she?
Yeah. So we've got both going Cheyenne Vlismus.
Vlismus, yeah.
Happy Christmas, Cheyenne Vlismus. Right. This is a fucking banger, this one is. So, Zhalgas Zhumagulov against Manel Kape.
Yeah.
Which way are you going? What's your pick?
Well,
throw it on the table.
Okay, my pick is Manel Kape.
Okay. Good shout.
Because he got that finish in his last fight, so I think his confidence will be really high.
Good shout. There was a flying knee against O'Day Osborne, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. And the way he kind of stepped back and switched stance, like pulled him onto it and then jumped. That was great.
Switched to orthodox.
Yeah, and
kept
I think
feinting the takedown as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if Zhumagulov kind of rushes in he can kind of read that and maybe do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
he's got really good striking. He's a little bit. He's quite polished. He's got quite a polished skill set. He's got a good power double as well. But I feel like Manel Kape, there's something special about him. And when he came into the UFC, he had a couple of really hard fights. I mean, his debut was against Pantoja.
Yeah.
I think the expectation of him was quite high. So when he came over, they just kind of threw him straight in at the deep end to hope they had another contender in that division.
And his last fight was a split decision as well. So, I think he's got a lot of potential. Yeah. And that O'Day Osborne, I think, is raised his confidence massively now. Yeah. Now he's kind of settled into the UFC. I think he'll be pretty good.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm going Manel Kape as well.
Yeah,
I think this is got the potential to be a fight of the night. And something else that stood out is how much Zhumagulov looks like Gennady Golovkin. He looks like his little brother.
Yeah.
He's a good fighter. He's got a great guillotine, which he could catch Manel Kape in. Works the body well with his straight right, but I feel like there's just something a bit special with Manel Kape.
That guillotine Zhumagulov got in his last fight against Rivera. That was the Max Holloway proper ripped it on, really pulled on it. And I thought he was going to struggle in that fight because of the length of Rivera.
Yeah.
And he was losing that fight before he won it, I thought. But I think Manel Kape's striking, he's a bit more patient. You can like read him a bit more, and I think he'll get the win.
And he's wicked fast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really fast. Hell of a fight that one is. Okay, moving on. Are we both going with Manel Kape?
Both going Manel Kape, yeah.
This one's a banger as well. Maki Potolo against Dusko Todorovic. Oh no, you got Jake Matthews.
I have got Jake Matthews.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry, no, that's on tap. That's on UFC stats. Jake Matthews against Jeremiah Wells.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing to think Jake Matthews used to be a lightweight.
Yeah, I know.
Like he had a surgery on his hips a few years ago, and he like grew another fucking 2 inches and stuff.
I was surprised how many fights he's had in the UFC because he's only 27. He's had 15 fights. He's got a lot of experience, but I think Jeremiah Wells is going to win.
Do you? Yeah. He is good. I mean, he's what is he, like 5'10", like powerhouse. He's 35 years old, so he's like, he's here for a quick push to try and see where he can get, because he's not going to be fighting for ages. Jake Matthews has been in the UFC a long while, and he's the younger man. He's got plenty of time on his side. But he's like, the thing is with Jake Matthews, he's a good all rounder, but if it hits the floor, that's where he struggles.
Yeah,
and I think that although Jeremiah Wells might not want it to be on the floor, I think physically he might just be able to put him there if he wants to. Like his power and his strength against Wally Alves, where he pulled his arm into place. Yeah. Like that's something that Jake Matthews I don't think can quite handle at this point. But he does have the experience. He could wear him out, force him to work, and then prey on the fact that Jake Matthews has got plenty of experience in the UFC. He might play that to his advantage. Something that DC said about Jeremiah Wells, which hits it on the nail on the head. He puts a lot into everything.
Yeah.
Like didn't he train with Felder? He was a former teammate of Paul Felder.
I'm not sure. Not sure. He is from Philly, so.
See, what's interesting is he's got a 2-inch height disadvantage, but he's got an inch longer in reach. He's got fucking massive shoulders.
Yeah, he is. And one thing as well, Jake Matthews struggled a lot with Sean Brady.
He did.
And I think he's got that similar
build, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's like stocky, short, strong. And I think if he can get it down, it would just hold him down and beat him up.
You reckon? So you're going with Jeremiah Wells, though?
Yeah. I do like Jake Matthews. And like you said, he's got a lot of experience, but yeah, I don't know. Just Jeremiah Wells looks powerhouse.
He does look so good. He does look like a fucking wrecking ball. Nah, I'll disagree with you then. Yeah, because I'll go with Jake Matthews just for shits and giggles. I can see Jeremiah Wells being too much for him physically for sure, but I'll lean on the fact that Jake Matthews has got the experience in and out of the UFC just overall generally. Yeah. Okay. And I'm hoping he learns from that Sean Brady fight.
Yeah. True.
Stay away from him. Pick your shots. He's got fast hands. He's got really fast hands. If he can deal with that rush of Jeremiah Wells, then he might be able to catch him on the way in and hurt him. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Maki Potolo against Dusko Todorovic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Todorovic is on a bit of a rough spot at the
moment.
like
him.
Mate, he made his debut in Fight Island, didn't he?
Yeah, was it? Oh, no, I don't think it was his debut.
Oh, no, Contender Series.
Yeah.
He did Contender Series, and then I think he had his UFC debut in Fight Island against Daquan Townsend. Stopped him in the second round. Like, the whole talk about him is that he's super skilled on the floor, but then up until his fights in the UFC, he didn't really show his ground game too much. It was like he kind of kept it there in the background in case he needed it. But then the thing, and it's kind of similar to what William Knight does. He like pulls his head back and tries to slip shots away, and it just didn't work against Soriano because he covered distance really well. Yeah, like Maki Potolo, the thing that I think is going to trouble Todorovic in this fight is Potolo's left kick. Yeah. Like, he throws that kick hard. Like, he nailed Marquez with it a few times. And he wanted to grapple with Marquez, but, he opened up with some powerful kicks. And I don't know, I just feel like Todorovic is on this slide right now. And I think Maki Potolo, although he lost that fight against Marquez, I think Potolo might be a little bit much for him.
Potolo's on a 3-fight losing streak as well.
Yeah.
I think because they're both in that position where they kind of need a win to get back in the mix of it. I just think Dusko's a bit better all round. And I think he learnt from the Soriano fight, because I noticed in his next fight, because in the Soriano fight, he had quite low guard. Yeah. And then in the next fight, he kind of brought it up, and I think he learns from his mistakes, and I think he'll get the win.
Okay.
based on that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's a very, very good grappler, but we've seen very little of it. And Maki Potolo was adamant that he was going to take Marquez down to the floor, even though he kept getting caught in submissions. Like, he was nearly caught in the second and third round before he was subbed by the Anaconda choke. I mean, yeah. I agree with you. I think Dusko is a better fight. I don't know. I just feel like Maki might get to him because Todorovic might be accepting of the fact that Potolo's going to try and grapple, so he's just going to wait to let him level change and just try and pick his counter shots. And I think Potolo's got, like I said, he's got a really powerful left kick, and I think he's got quite disciplined boxing as well. And Todorovic is a bit kind of chin in the air, and I don't know.
I think you might have changed my mind on this one. To be fair.
Yeah, well, I thought you were going to change my mind because I think Todorovic is a very, very good fighter, but I don't know. I feel like Maki Potolo, if he puts in the performance that he did against Marquez, I feel like he might be able to get to Todorovic and hurt him with something. Because Marquez can take a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
And Todorovic has been cracked and his head's been spun around a couple of times.
Yeah, Soriano just like kept finding that straight punch, didn't he?
Punched his mouth guard under the cage, didn't he? Even his mouth guard was hiding from the fight. He wanted none of it.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Dusko on this one.
Yeah, sticking with your pick.
I'm going to stick with it.
Stick with your pick. Yeah, okay. I'll go Potolo, but logic suggests that Todorovic is going to do it.
Yeah.
But I still have yet to see his ground game, and I think he might be relying on it being there too much, and Potolo might.
Do you think he's kind of making a point to stand up?
I don't know. I think maybe he feels like that's how he needs to fight to deliver fun performances, or maybe that's just how he likes to fight. I mean, he's a bit of a madman from what I can tell from talking to him. He just loves the electricity in the fight, the action. And because he's got his ground game to fall back upon, I think he feels like he can kind of indulge in risky fights and take risks that other fighters wouldn't. Because if he ends up on the floor, then, you know, you kind of ran into his world. I don't know. He might sub Potolo. I mean, now you got me thinking. No, I'll stick with my pick. I'll stick with Potolo. But I think there's a good chance that Dusko could snag him with a guillotine or something, for sure. Okay.
Is it Brian?
Have you got Barberena?
Yeah.
Barberena.
Barberena.
Against Darian Weeks. Now, this guy's only 5-0, but have you seen, he's 15-3 as an amateur? He represented the US in IMAF,
yeah, I seen on his Tapology photos, IMAF. Yeah. He's got IMAF top on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Brian's just going to be way too experienced. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, it's like, I don't know, because that's what I was thinking. And then I watched a couple of Darian Weeks' fights. I watched the highlights of his last one against Craig Fairley, and he just bullied him. He pushed him around. That fight, there were a couple of times when you think to yourself, this guy's had enough now. You could probably step in and save him. He's 1-on-1 boxing as well. His last fight was a boxing match.
Yeah.
So he's staying active. He's had a couple of fights this year already. I don't know. Brian Barberena was at one point one of the biggest spoilers in the sport. Like, he was ruining fucking prospect left, right, and centre. He was not the guy that was supposed to beat Sage Northcutt and Wally Alves. Like, that was a huge shock. And he's like, I mean, he's got wins over like Ellenberger and the likes of that.
Not well. Is just people who he's fought. Like, he's fought Colby, Leon Edwards, Luque, Randy Brown. Like,
and he's losing by he was losing by decision up until recently.
Yeah.
When he got stopped by Luque and Randy Brown.
Yeah.
But then in the Jason Witt fight, I mean, like a majority decision. So it was, in my mind, he lost the first round, he lost the second round, and then he got a 10-8 in the third because he nearly finished him like 3 or 4 times. But like all the way through, Jason Witt did what Brian Barberena does to most people. Like, it was a bit too much for him everywhere. And I don't know as that's because Brian Barberena has kind of found his ceiling. Like, I mean, he's 15-8 now. What is he? He's 32, but he's not particularly old. But I don't know. I feel like Darian Weeks' experience in IMAF has done him really well.
Yeah.
He's 5-0, and he seems to be a very well-rounded fighter. Like, it might be too early for him, and that's why the UFC are throwing him in there with Brian Barberena. I think, because they know that this guy might be really good, but Barberena is definitely going to test that. You know?
Do you think he's fell into that kind of gatekeeper in the division, like beat him and you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure he has. Yeah. I don't know. I think this guy's good. I mean, I've not seen a lot of him because obviously
No.
he's making his debut. He's had his last fight was on LFA. But I don't know. I feel like that IMAF experience is beneficial. He's 15-3 as an amateur. He's lost 2 decisions. He's lost 3 by decision, and then 1 by a doctor's stoppage. I don't know, man. I'm going out on a limb here. I think Darian Weeks is going to surprise us. Yeah.
I've gone for Brian.
Yeah.
Just purely because of his experience.
It's the safe pick. It's the smart pick for sure.
I mean,
I'm feeling saucy. It's these shot rocks. That's what it is.
I don't think mine's kicked in yet.
Is it not? Mine has. I
Probably
think I'm still flying from the one I had earlier, though, to be honest.
Probably get it on the drive home.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I'm going to go for Brian.
Yeah. That's the sensible way to go, Jamie. You know,
I'm sensible. I'm a sensible person.
You are. I like to gamble with an underdog. I think Darian Weeks, he looks like an interesting prospect. Okay. I like these guys that come through IMAF as well, because it means they fight people from all around the world. You know, you know, you've been to the tournaments there. They get a lot of good experience from all around the world. Yeah,
and there's a lot of hype around some of it, like, you know, Makaev as well. Like, they can build a good fan base, you know, in IMAF as well, and people have already seen what they can kind of do and stuff. So
Makaev's a good signing for the UFC. That's very exciting. I'm excited to see who they put him up against. Whether they'll give him a Brian Barberena kind of fight. That's what they're doing with this IMAF guy. Okay, moving on.
Yep.
So, I'm going with Darian Weeks. Yeah, I said that.
I'll go with Brian then. Brian.
Safe money, smart you. Why not? Okay, Brendan Allen against Chris Curtis.
Okay.
This is another fucking really good fight.
It is.
My only concern with this one is they both like to wait for their opponent to come at them. That's what we saw in Curtis's fight against Phil Hawes, and then Brendan Allen did it in his last fight against Soriano.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just kind of waits. They both just kind of wait for them to come out. And Brendan Allen, obviously, he's got good body kicks. He kept attacking Soriano's neck as well. But Chris Curtis was just a fucking one-shot finisher.
Yeah,
it was just a rocket. That was.
Yeah, I just don't see. I see Brendan Allen winning just because he's more of an all-round fighter. I think he's got much more to offer, and I think just based off Curtis's last fight against Hawes, like the way he did weight, and he was just kind of looking for that one shot.
And he took a lot of shots as well. There was some power shots that he took from Hawes, and he just kind of. I mean, he's got loads of experience as well. Like, I mean, he's 27-8 is his record. Brendan Allen 17-4.
Yeah, because Phil Hawes looked. Well, they were saying on the commentary as well, like, he's improved his striking. So he was like, Curtis was under it for a long time in that fight, and just waited for that
left hand, didn't he? Caught him clean, almost sat him right down, but Phil Hawes managed to save himself.
Yeah, I liked how he didn't. I liked when he caught him and Phil Hawes was stumbling. He didn't instantly rush in for the finish. He kind of waited, picked his shot, and then ended it.
That's 30 odd fights as a pro.
I know. He's massively experienced as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what these belts are over his shoulders on his Tapology page.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fight Night champion. I'm not sure what event that is. Fight Night 12.
Yeah, 27-8. Big record.
Yeah. And he's got 2 decision losses to Magomed Kerimov, who's an absolute monster.
PFL.
And Ray Cooper. Yeah, that's another. Yeah. I like him. I like Chris Curtis. I think Brendan Allen's a dangerous individual with a broad skill set, and I think if he can land those body kicks and maybe get Brendan Allen to overcommit, he might be able to slip and wrap his neck or something. But I don't know. I'm excited for Chris Curtis because that kind of power that he showed against Phil Hawes is pretty impressive.
Do you think Brendan's gonna go for the takedown though? Attempt the takedown.
I think he might. I think that would be a smart thing to do. He's got that heel hook finish as well, hasn't he? So I mean, there is a potential that he might just go straight after. He might just go straight after the submission while they're dry. It might be the smart thing to do. You know, he's got a win over Tom Breeze by ground and pound, and he subbed Kevin Holland and Aaron Jeffrey. Like, it would make sense for him to do that, but we just don't know. We don't know how good Chris Curtis's takedown defense is, and and then you've also got to get close to him to take him down. And you've got to think that Chris Curtis has got good takedown defense if he was that patient against Phil Hawes, who's got really good wrestling. So I don't know. I'm siding with all the unknowns today. I think Chris Curtis is going to do it.
Yeah, but I've got Brendan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's the smart way to go. It really is, because Brendan Allen, he's been in the UFC a while. He's a dangerous individual.
I've probably picked all the favourites.
Yeah. Well, that's. I like to be a dreamer. That's what it is. Okay, this next one's a banger as well. Jimmy Crute against Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
One thing we have to think about is where Jamal Hill's arm is at after his last
I was
fight.
thinking about that, and I saw that Jimmy Crute has got a lot of Kimuras on his record.
And he fully commits to him as well.
Yeah.
He clamps on him and runs him to the floor. Was it Oleg Shayjuk he Kimura'd? I think it was.
Yeah.
He was having a rough round up to that point because Oleg Shayjuk was come crashing forward. But then he sparked Modestus as well, didn't he? That was the baby giraffe fight.
Yeah, and they both ended up sitting down near the entrance at the end.
Yeah. Oleg Shayjuk, that was the Kimura, and he got Paul Craig with one as well. Which a win over Paul Craig gets better by the week, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I mean that was
especially
a while ago.
what he did to Jamal.
Yeah.
Snapped his arm. The only other thing I was thinking about is because obviously the last fight, Jimmy Crute's last fight, was the leg injury against Anthony Smith.
Good shout.
And it might be a target for Jamal. Obviously, looking at the last fight, the same as the arm might be a target for Jimmy.
Yeah.
But I think it would be easier for Jamal to get to the leg. And because he's a southpaw, it will be there available for him.
Yep.
Against Jimmy. So
southpaw v orthodox. Yeah. And Jamal Hill's got a big, so he's 2 inches taller, but he's got a 5-inch reach advantage.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Crute's working with what's his name, isn't he? Dan Kelly.
Yeah, and Greco.
Dan Kelly and Sam Greco.
Yeah.
That's a good corner team. That's got every range covered for sure.
Yeah.
Which way are you going?
I had Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because based off the Anthony Smith fight with Jimmy, because Jamal's got the reach advantage and Anthony Smith was constantly getting through his guard with his jab as well. And I think if he can pick him off and just keep distance away from him, pick him off with the leg kicks, pick him off with the jab, I think he'll get a decision win. Jamal.
Good shout. I'll disagree with you, Wayne. I disagree with you.
I do like Jimmy.
Yeah, I think this is a really competitive fight. I mean, they're both kind of at a similar stage of their career, aren't they? I mean, Jamal Hill's got a couple of less fights, 8-1 compared to Jimmy Crute, who's 12-2. I don't know. I'll go with Jimmy Crute. I think he's gonna be able to close him down and put him on the floor. I think he's gonna feel like he's got a grappling advantage and he's gonna make the most of that.
Yeah,
and and that nullifies that reach advantage that Jamal Hill's got. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to avoid that arm being snapped again as well.
Yeah, right. That's got to make you a little bit sensitive to that. Yeah. All right. No, I'll go Jimmy Crute then.
Okay, I'm gonna go Jamal.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Jamal.
Jamal.
Yeah, it's weird. Jamal.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
Is it not?
Sounds good though.
Yeah.
Sounds
Jamal
good.
Hill.
Okay. Clay Guida against Leonardo Santos. Now, Clay Guida he's back up at 155 after being at 145. After I did the boat race, I called into Nova and Yao to join him for a training session, and Leo Santos was there, and Andre Pedneris pointed him out to me, and I said, "Is he a light heavyweight?"
Really?
And Pedneris was like, "No, he's a lightweight. He's fucking huge. He's huge." I don't know how he gets down to this weight
I know
class.
he's tall. Like, he looks really tall against pretty much everyone in there.
He cuts hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cuts a lot of weight. Like, and that's where I think Clay Guida could be a problem in this one, because he does put a real pace on people. But Leo Santos is he's very slick. He's a very, very slick fighter. He's got skills everywhere. What he did to Stevie Ray was bad as well.
Was that the right hook or left hook?
Caught him and then jumped out the octagon and sprinted out to the back.
He's done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Santos. He had a bit of a timeout as well, didn't he?
He's had a couple of breaks. I think he has problems with injuries, but again, that's probably because he's going down a weight class he shouldn't be at. What is he? I mean, he's 6 foot 155. But I remember seeing him at Nova and Yao and thinking like he looked like a light heavyweight. Like he was a heavy. I don't know, man. I remember looking at him and thinking to myself, these fucking lightweights are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and I know he's got a really good jiu-jitsu background as well, isn't he?
Slick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good submissions. Got that rear naked choke over Rocco Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which way are you going on this one?
I got Santos.
Yeah.
I think. I can. He's got really good striking, good front kicks. I think he's just going to keep Clay away and just pick him off and maybe get the finish.
Bit too much for Clay.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just coming off that split decision loss to Marco Madsen, who's a nightmare of a fight.
Yeah,
I agree
Clay's
with you.
Madman, isn't he?
He's fought. I mean, you look at down his record and the people that he's fought. He's pretty much fought everyone. He's got a win over BJ Penn. He's got a. I mean, he lost to Charles Oliveira. I watched that yesterday. That's where Oliveira hooks his toes into the fence. Nice little slick move there. Lozon's a good win. Eric Coase a good win. Kawajiri, legend. Anthony Pettis by unanimous decision. Gomi's got a win over Rafael Dos Anjos. It's crazy, isn't it? Split decision win over Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Mac Danzig, one of my old friends. Like even names like Marcus Aurelio, like a lot of the newer fans won't remember who he is, but he was a legit lightweight killer back in the day. Marcus Aurelio was. He was a out of ATT, fighting
like
in Pride.
Roman character.
Does. Well, I think his nickname is Maximus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to drive this old Jag. I remember him parking outside the ATT, and he's always like trucks and Chargers and Mustangs and shit. And then he come in this like old green Jag.
Nice.
I'm like, what's an odd
Style.
choice? Yeah, it was. Yeah, bit slick. It's amazing the wins that Clay Guida's got on his record. I was live for that fight against Diego Sanchez as well.
Oh yeah.
What a fight.
That was nuts.
What a fight. Yeah, I think Clay Guida's going to struggle in this one.
Yeah, I think so.
I really do. Santos he's just a very skilled individual, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's not taken nearly as much damage as Guida's taken over the years. 41, Santos is.
Is he?
Yeah, 41.
Oh, he's 41 years old.
Yeah, man. He's been out for ages. He's taking breaks. Look, he's at he one fight in 2021. One fight in 2020, one in 2019, and then the last one before that was 2016. 2015 he had 2. 2014 he had 2. When did he make his pro debut?
Man, is he on some anti-aging
right?
secret juice?
Maybe he's found the fountain of youth. Maybe it's SI. Maybe that's why all these Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys are on the SI. Maybe it's the fountain of youth. Amazing, isn't it? 41.
Yeah, that's nuts. He does not look like that at all.
No. And Clay Guida's had enough fights to make him look like he's well over 41.
How old's Clay?
I don't know. What is he? He must be 30.
Oh, he's 39.
39, yeah.
Damn, I thought Clay was like the older dude. Like,
yeah.
I did not know
he
that.
is in dog years, similar to fighter years. Okay.
Yeah, Santos.
Santos.
Yeah.
Me too. Oh, man. What a co-main event. Oh,
yeah.
Rafael Fiziev against Brad Riddell. Both 10-1. Both ranked in the top 15, aren't they? Are they? I've not.
Yeah, I think Fiziev's 15 and I think Riddell's 11.
See, what's interesting is that both of these guys have spent a lot of time training in Thailand. They must have bumped into one another.
No, they did. I watched them sparring each other.
Spar, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. It's at Tiger Muay Thai. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have seen that. I have seen that. Fucking hell, what a fight this is going to be. I wonder how they've ended up fighting one another.
Yeah, because I've seen. I think they spoke and they've like on the phone and stuff before this fight and said that whatever happens we're going to be friends after.
You fucking want it. Fucking how dare you take a fight against me?
They're both so like similar as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how similar they are. I think Fiziev's an inch shorter, but they both got the same reach.
Okay. So Fiziev's number 14 and Brad Riddell's number 12.
Okay.
Fiziev to me looks like the slicker striker. He looks like he's faster and he's got cleaner combinations. Brad Riddell looks like that old school banger that he's not quite as pretty in his style, but he's able to read the fight with wisdom and keep himself safe. I know he does a lot of coaching as well, don't he?
Riddell,
Brad Riddell, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think what Fiziev did to Bobby Green and to Moicano.
Yeah, I watched the Moicano fight earlier, and those body, like when he throws, he's got no like load up for those like body kicks and leg kicks. He just whips it out.
Bang.
Yeah.
Super fast, super torque really like what's the word? Like there's a lot of torque in his system. You know what I mean? He's like loaded and ready to fire. And Brad Riddell's he's a bit of a banger. Like he's had some really really good scraps. You know, what was it? The guy that trains out of Ross Pearson's gym, Malarkey.
Jamie Malarkey. Yeah.
Was that it?
Let's have a look.
My fucking
I
internet's
think
frozen.
I think it is.
Yeah. He's got that heavy front
Jamie
foot.
Malarkey got a decision win.
Like they were like on their knees punching each other at the end of the fight, if I remember right. He's got coming off a good win over Drew Dobu, who will be a good prep for Fiziev.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Fiziev's a little bit quicker and a little bit more powerful.
Yeah.
I think Brad Riddell might be a bit too hittable for him. That's my concern.
I think so. I agree. I think Fiziev's. I think it will go the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, do you reckon?
Yeah.
I hope it does, because I'd like to watch it for 15 minutes.
Yeah. But like you said, I think Fiziev's just a bit quicker, a bit sharper. And I think he'll land more shots to get the win.
He just moves at such a pace. Doesn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. Brad Riddell's on a good win streak, though, isn't he?
He is.
Like Dober, De Silva, Mustafayev, Malarkey.
Yes,
his
7.
Four fights in the UFC and 7 total. Yeah,
it's a tough one.
I love them both. I'm really excited for it, but I just think Fiziev's a little bit sharper everywhere and a bit less hittable.
Yeah.
He does that little drop back senchai.
Yeah, was that
away
against
from
what's his name? Red Mohawk. DeCasey.
Yeah, DeCasey.
Yeah, he was just like kind of leaning back, Matrix style.
Drifting out the way.
Yeah.
Slick striker. That might steal the show, that one. That might steal the show.
But
which way are you going then? You going Fiziev?
I did have Fiziev. I mean, because I watched that sparring. I know it's not really much because it was quite a light sparring as well, but Riddell was always just kind of close in. Wasn't really like backing away at all. But Fiziev was like kind of dropping off, kind of just, reading him a little bit. And I think over the distance, I think Fiziev will land a lot more and get the win. Yeah.
He'll have more space in the octagon than he did in that cage for sure, because that looked like a sort of like a 22 foot cage. It wasn't huge, so I reckon he's gonna have more space to get away from Riddell's pressure, and I reckon he's gonna do enough damage to his lead leg to slow him down, make him heavy on that lead leg, keep his head stationary so he can crack him.
It was funny, those leg shots he landed against Moicano, and Moicano was a bit like ooh, like. Not really, but you could tell they were definitely hurting because he had a massive like lump on his leg after like the first 2.
It's just the amount of torque that he's able to generate. He reminds me of Thiago Alves back in the day. Like when Thiago Alves fought Matt Hughes at UFC 85, and he looked like the fucking Hulk. Like he was ridiculously muscled, and he always turned these leg kicks over and chopped into him. Rogan always talks about it, about Rafael Alves's. Thiago Alves' low kicks, very, very slick. Very slick. But Fiziev is just as slick and quicker. I'm going with Fiziev for sure.
Yeah, same.
But I think that might be fight of the night.
Yeah, it is going to be
if it's
great.
a decision, I'll be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, main event time. So we've done the War Room, so you've kind of heard what I've got to say about it. What are you thinking? Rob Font against, hang on a minute, the former featherweight champion and one of the greatest of all time, Jose Aldo, against... Rob Font.
It's only 2 syllables as well. You can't really extend his name out. Robert Font.
Robert Font. I feel like there's a good nickname to go with Font, Like Helvetica. A bit of a fucking nickname. Holy shit. How
Times New Roman.
It's not quite as good, that one. Not quite as good. Yeah, this a hell of a fight. Like Rob Font's not quite got the experience or the name of Aldo. But he's a hell of a striker. 34 as well.
Yeah.
He's like similar age to Aldo. Aldo's 35?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of how long Rob Font's been around, to be honest, in the UFC. He's got a lot of experience. I do think Aldo's going to outwork him though.
My only concern for Aldo is that this is a 5-round fight. And my concern when he was a featherweight was always that he would need to take a round off at some point. Like he would always work hard for 20 minutes and then take a round off. Like against Hominick, it was the 5th round. I think Mendes was like the 3rd or 4th. Like he always needs that moment to just kind of like regroup himself and like reserve some energy. And that's the point of difference in this fight with Rob Font, because if you like that last fight against Garbrandt, where he came through a rough early patch and then was able to start pushing him back with pressure. Never seems to struggle with conditioning. Like, you've got to think he's sparring with Calvin Kattar, who's going to push him all the time. I think Aldo's got to hurt him. Because the other thing as well, 5-round fight, I don't think he's going to want to grapple too much. No. It's just a waste of his energy. Yeah, I'd like to see Aldo win, because I'd like to see him have that one more run at the title. But if he doesn't do enough damage in the first 2 rounds, I think Rob Font can kind of walk him down and be a real problem. What was your pick? How have you got it?
I picked Aldo.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I think because you were saying he's quite heavy on his front foot as well, and I know obviously Aldo's leg kicks are brutal.
Wicked low kicks.
Yeah.
Wicked low kicks. And a lovely left hook to the body as well. And Font does kind of hang heavy on his lead leg. But
you can kind of break him down like upwards throughout the fight. I think Aldo's going to outwork him. But like you said, because of the weight change, and this is the first... Was it Peter Yan he fought over 5 rounds?
Yeah. I mean, he made it into the 5th round, but he was just... I literally thought that was the last we'd seen of him. Because, that was his 3-fight losing streak. He lost to Volkanovski, lost to Moraes, and then went in for the title shot against Peter Yan, and he just didn't have enough to stop him. That was the thing. Is like, Peter Yan's going to get to you over 5 rounds, so you've got to do something to him in the early rounds to slow him down. And he wasn't able to against Peter Yan. He might be able to against Rob Font, but the question is, can he? And if he doesn't, that's when Rob Font might just take over from the 3rd round, and Aldo might just get cooked. He might just get walked down and beaten up. I mean, like, I'm picking Aldo because I think he's a much sharper striker. His takedown offense is wicked. Yeah. Good left hook to the body, good low kicks and stuff, but there is that question in the back of my mind. And the question is, like, how does his conditioning hold up? Because I always thought he'd go up to lightweight. I always thought that Aldo would be the featherweight champion for a while and then go up and become a top contender at lightweight and be more comfortable and look better at that weight. Going down to bantamweight, I did not see coming.
It's like I was saying to V yesterday, there's a safe, or not a safe, but a certain amount of body fat that you need and able to, like, live and, just generally, like...
perform at your optimum, for sure.
Yeah. So I think, like you said about the conditioning, maybe that lack of, like, body fat and, maybe that will, show in the later rounds.
And that's a bit of protection as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I know that Roy Nelson's not a good example to use for things, but he took a lot of shots because he had the body fat to cushion him. Like there is a benefit to having a little bit. Aldo's got none is the problem. Like Rob Font's in good shape, but good shape conditioning wise, not nearly as lean as Aldo. Aldo's very, very sharp and very quick, but I do think there's a cost to that over the time. Which way are you going then? You going Aldo?
I'm going to go... I think I've changed my mind.
Have you? Yeah.
I have, yeah. No, I'm going to stick with Aldo. I'm going to stick with Aldo.
I'm sticking with him. I'm sticking with Aldo.
Yeah.
King of Rio. I'm a big fan of Jose Aldo. I'll show you a good photo of him in a little while. When I went to train with him, he's such a good dude. He's just such a,
He must be so mentally tough as well. Just based off like the losses he's had, like the McGregor obviously, and then the Peter Yan fight, and he's still come back and he's still at the top.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah,
nice one.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you check out fullreptile.co.uk. 10% off for the first 10 days of December, so make sure you check that out. New stuff, new boxing stuff, new snake print and everything. And make sure you check out C4 Energy, c4energy.com.
c4energy.com, and use the code FULLREPTILE for 30% off. And
get some of these pot rocks because you're going to dig them. Watermelon flavour is what I would recommend. They're very good. Awesome. Nice one, Jamie.
Nice one, man.
Congratulations on your first
it was
podcast.
Nice to be part of it.
Wicked.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Cool.
Catch you later.
In a bit.